everyone. We're getting started with our first interview with Meet the Candidates with Lisa Lene. I'm your host, and we have our special guest, Councilman Chester Porter of District 2. We're going to be asking him a number of questions, and I hope that you'll be listening. Here we go. So, how are you doing today?
I am fine, Lisa. Thank you for this interview, and thank you for all the work that you do here to bring about a change since you've moved back. Actually, I can honestly say that you were bringing about a change when you were away working in the school system.
Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in, if you don't mind.
Okay.
So tell us about yourself. Where were you educated? About your family and your job at this time.
Okay. So as everyone knows, that I am a lifelong resident of the marvelous city of Bessemer. Okay. And I grew up just 2 blocks away from here on 13th Court.
Okay.
So my family still lives there. My sister and my lovely nephew and my niece, who I am very close to, and my great-grandnephew lives, right around the corner also. I got my formal education at, I'm going to take you way back.
That's fine. We got time.
Yes, indeed. So I actually grew up in Brighton, Alabama. While my father was in the military, my mother and I stayed with my grandmother. And when he got out, that's when we moved to the marvelous city of Bessemer. So my first school was Brighton Elementary School. And then from there, we moved, as I stated, to Marvel City of Bessemer. And just from the middle of the street, back that way was considered the county. So we were zoned to go to the Hurritown school system. So from there, I went to Hurritown Elementary School, Pittman Junior High, went on to Hurritown High School. And then from there, I did a year of college at Jacksonville State University, went off to the military. And once I did that, went back to Jacksonville State University and moved back home and got a job working for Coca-Cola United. Stayed there for 27 years, moved up from, I started working on the trucks, taking drinks to the stores, and I did not like that job at all. So from there, I just worked my way up to the corporate arena and became a ERP analyst / project manager there. And God was good to me. He allowed me to see many things. I learned how to work hard for anything in life. And now I just presently started a career with Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Wow. So I'm in my 2nd week of working with them.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
How's that going?
So it's going good. I'm learning a lot, applying those skills that I gained from Coca-Cola United and applying them to Blue Cross. But I love my career path. God has really been good to me.
That's good. Key things, viewers, I want to bring out the fact that he talked about his career path and the journey he's taken. Things don't just happen. You have to make sure that they are happening because you are moving one step forward. And to see that he was able to be the person on the delivery truck and then be able to transition to another position, that's a really, really important thing to think about. Every entry position is one way of opening the door to a new opportunity.
And you're right about that. I'm glad that you stated that because it did not just happen overnight. I started off there working part-time, making $7 an hour. And at that particular time, back in 91, 92, I thought that was a lot of money.
Right.
And from there, I just surrounded myself with people that I wanted to be like, there at the company. And became one of the first Black African Americans to actually go upstairs and work in corporate arena. Wow. So, I've worked in many areas there at Coca-Cola, so I knew the system from the front door to the back door.
Wow.
So, and I applied myself, like I stated, you just have to have the right determination.
It's true.
And surround yourself with those individuals who who are willing to teach you
Mm-hmm.
and how to apply those skills and keep them in place.
That's very true. That's very true. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. We're going to get into some of our questions now, so y'all get ready. So you told us about yourself, family, and education. Tell me, what books are you currently reading at this time?
Well, I'm not going to say any books, but I'm actually reading a lot of the antiquated city ordinance that we have, trying to update those. That has been ongoing, having ongoing meetings, with other citizens and the mayor's office. So that's one of the things that I've really been putting a lot of my effort in terms of reading into. And there's also a gentleman by the name of Timothy Hood.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Hood was killed right here in the city of Bessemer back in 1945. And I ask each and every one of you to go in and research the life of Timothy Hood.
Mm-hmm.
He was killed by a Brighton police officer while on the bus. And he moved the sign, back in that particular time in 1945 is when we had the Jim Crow laws or what have you. So while on the bus, there was not that many Caucasians sitting up front, but the back of the bus was really crowded. And he moved this particular sign that read colors to the back. And a fight ensued between he and the police chief of Brighton. Mm-hmm. And while in the midst of the fight, the officer shot him, and he some way got away and went home. And they followed the blood trail, put him in the car, and en route to the police station, shot him in the head and killed him. So I have been working with Northeastern University and several attorneys to try to have a street in memory of Mr. Timothy Hood, who was killed in 1945 here in the marble city of Bessemer. Wow. A little known history. I did not know that until it was brought to my attention.
Wow. Wow. I definitely want to see the street. I want to see the movie. I want to see the story continue to be shared. So thank you so much for I love it when people read books. So this is definitely a big thing to know. Thank you so much.
Oh, no problem at all.
Next up, what was your favorite subject in school?
I would say my favorite subject was history. Okay. I also like playing sports too. So I played sports in junior high school, played on the B team and on the varsity team. I was really fast in running track and playing baseball with the Hueytown Cardinals. But in terms of the academics, I can honestly say it was history. And so I got in, up into college years, my major was political science.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a good one. I was a government major, so I appreciate that. It shares a lot about how the government works, and a lot of people forget that you need to study what government is in order to really understand how it's supposed to function and support society. So thank you for studying that. Yeah. And also being on the city council. Yes. So that's a good thing.
My passion. My love.
Okay.
My love.
So we have, what could you say to students who are starting their new year in school?
Number one is to really apply yourself. Mm-hmm. No matter what grade you make, I don't care if it's a D, always strive to try to make a C. And once you make that C, strive to make that B. And surround yourself with those students who have good study habits. Right. Everyone cannot ace a test. Mm-hmm. I've known friends, or I have friends that, make straight A's and B's, but just could not master a test by the basic reading, questions that they had. So always surround yourself with people that are positive, people that are, I would say, shakers and movers in a positive way.
Right.
In a positive way.
Right.
And always pray before you take a test. Pray before any decision that you make. Mm-hmm. Pray before you go to school on a daily basis. I pray every day when I get up in the morning, when I walk out the door, even when I'm cutting the grass, when I'm going to work, I'm constantly in prayer. Mm-hmm. So to have a strong prayer life, it would give you that foundation that when a hard wind comes your way,
there you go.
You can be rooted like a tree.
That sounds good. Wow, I think you just gave us a sermon right there. All right, let's see. We talked a little bit about yourself. We talked about, schools. Now I want to get into Bessemer.
Mm-hmm.
What do you love about Bessemer?
Oh, good question. What I love about Bessemer is the rich history that our city has. There's so much opportunity here. I like knowing the history. The old saying is you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you've been. Mm-hmm. Knowing that how vibrant the city of Bessemer was, hundreds of years ago to this present day. I like the fact that people are starting to move back mm-hmm. into the marble city of Bessemer. Just on the south side, you have a lot of citizens that are moving from Homewood, moving from Irondale, even moving from Harrytown. One of my close friends who is a high school teacher at Minor High School just purchased a home over on the south side of Bessemer. Awesome. Sold his home from Harrytown. You have Michael and Jared, they moved from Hoover mm-hmm. to purchase the Moody Mansion.
Oh, wow.
Who always are very engaged here to the city. So the city of Bessemer is a melting pot. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of gold here. You can find some affordable homes here and fix up the houses and move up and move into them. Mm-hmm. A lot of jobs here. We have blocks that's always doing ongoing hiring. Okay. Milo's Sweet Tea. I was just on there the other day looking at some employment for my nephew, and those jobs are paying really good money.
That's awesome.
And of course, we have the Amazon that's coming here.
Yeah, Amazon's coming to Bessemer.
So, and let me share this with you, to the young people. If you're out there smoking, that whack of weed or what have you, please stop. Please stop. In order to get any type of employment anywhere, be it here in the city of Bessemer or Birmingham, the first thing they're going to do is do a drug test on you. Mm-hmm. And if you come back dirty, you're not going to be able to get a job. So whatever you're doing now, if you want to advance your career, start making plans right now while they are out there breaking the ground. So getting back to your question, but the city of Bessemer is a gold mine. We have our own airport. Mm-hmm. We have our own water resources. We have our own civic center. We have a brand new state-of-the-art recreation center, a brand new city hall. And more importantly, we're not landlocked. Mm-hmm. We have a hospital right here in the marble city of Bessemer. The city of Bessemer is financially sound, and that's thanks to Mayor Kenneth E. Gully for doing an outstanding job in which he has done through his leadership. So hats off to, my constituents for working with, this current mayor and getting the city finances straightened. But as stated, we're rich in history. We're doing major improvements on our infrastructures. Everywhere you look around, streets are being repaved. Mm-hmm. Everywhere you look around the school systems, brand new sidewalks are being put down. And that's another thing that, we're getting ready to go with on 24th Street, right across the street from your parents' house. Yeah, we're getting ready to go with installation of a sidewalk.
That's awesome.
There.
That's
so
awesome.
It's going to go from 12th Avenue all the way down to 18th Avenue.
Okay.
Yes.
That's really inspiring. My parents have lived on 24th Street for, I think, 31 years. So this will definitely be a change they've been looking forward to.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So as you talked about improvements, what are some things that you would like to improve in the city of Bessemer?
One of the most important things that I would like to see improve or change is the mindset of the citizens. Garbage in, garbage out. Mm. And we have got to to change our mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Our mindset in terms of the way we keep our property,
Right.
our mindset in terms of not having old abandoned cars sitting on the side of the road, our mindset in just keeping our own property clean, keeping our community clean.
Mm-hmm.
The streets and sanitation department, they do an outstanding job in terms of trying to keep the city clean, but it's only so many of them.
Right.
But it's a collective effort, and I continue to say this. It's a collective effort of everyone pitching in the time just to keep their block clean. Oftentimes I'm walking up and down the street, up and down 24th Street, up and down 12th Avenue, up and down, Brewer Drive, on the major intersections, just picking up trash, because this is something that I love. And I have seen that it has produced a domino effect just around here in the community. There's, several elderly people that's gone out and purchased a little picker, and each time they see trash out there, they're picking up.
That's
picking
awesome.
it up.
That's awesome. So I think you kind of went into my next question, which is, what are you doing to improve Bessemer? As in, what are some community initiatives that you started?
Oh, great question. Great question. Well, one of the most enjoyable, all of the community projects that I have done here within the city of Bessemer has really been dear and near to my heart. I'm very passionate about addressing the issues such as teaching the importance of having homeowners insurance, teaching the importance of having renters insurance if you're renting a home, teaching the importance of having basic medical care. Every year since the inception of the Affordable Healthcare Registration, I've registered over 2,000 citizens right here in the city of Bessemer. And this is something that I do during open enrollment time. Back in 2010, when the former President Barack Obama implemented that, I took that initiative along with other citizens here. So it was a collective effort of everyone to empower those individuals who are working a part-time job to get some type of insurance, and you could get discounts depending on if you qualify for those discounts.
Now, is that something you can still apply for?
Yeah, you can still apply for that to this day, and you can only do it during open enrollment time. And typically that starts right at the beginning of October. And it lasts going into the latter part of November. But Community 360 is something that I have also. And there I have, many vendors there educating the citizens on different things that they can have within the community, or letting people know that you need car insurance. One of the most important things that really touched my heart is a citizen had the opportunity to come out to Community 360, and they were renting a home. And a good friend of mine, Julia Bell, was there with State Farm. Shout out to Julia Bell, who is right here in the marvelous city of Bessemer. She was able to write up a renter's insurance on a family, and in less than a year, their home that they were renting caught on fire. And thank God that they were able to get renter's insurance, and it actually, took them to the next level.
That's awesome.
Basic rental insurance, so important. So connecting the dots, that's what I call connecting the dots and empowering the city. The citizens within the city of Bessemer. Oftentimes, Lisa, I share with my constituents that, I could go to city council meetings every day. I sit on several boards. I could go to those meetings every week. But what is it that you're doing to connect the dots? Right. And I'm not talking about just throwing a block party. That's not connecting the dots. I'm not talking about giving our citizens or the constituents a free sandwich. That's not connecting the dots. But how are you empowering them to change their mindset? How are you helping them? One of the other things that I enjoy doing is helping my elderly people. many elderly people that that live here in my district. I've helped them to get brand new roofs on their home. Uh, 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 um, uh, um, a what you call the little thing where you need the little ramp to get in if you're in a wheelchair, a little ramp. Yeah, a wheelchair ramp. So a lot of people think that all of that comes from the city, but I would say 40% of the citizens that I help, reached out to other organizations and helped them to get this done. So it's, how are you connecting the dots? How are you empowering your citizens? And once again, I continue to say, it's not about a block party. It's not about having a fish fry or a barbecue. But what is it that you're doing outside of the scope of being a city council person?
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you for giving us an in-depth understanding of what you're doing to make a difference in Bessemer. Let's see, we've got just a few more questions. As it is election season, and we do have election day being August 28th.
Yes.
So please make sure that you register to vote and that you go out and vote.
And vote smart.
And vote smart.
And vote smart.
Vote smart. So we know that you'll be running for the incumbent position. Of course, he's already the city councilman for District 2, and he will be running for re-election. So we got this big question. What position are you running for, and what are the major responsibilities connected with that position?
Great question. So, of course, I am running for my seat again, council person for District 2. I love what I do. I love answering the calls to my citizens. One of the, I say 60% of being a council person is listening and addressing the needs of the citizens. When you were ringing a doorbell, I had a citizen that was calling me. I had a citizen that just sent me some pictures, just about an hour ago on something that's going on in the community that I need to address. But it's being there, not making promises to the citizens, telling you, we're going to get this done, we're going to get this done. But you have to say that I'm going to follow through. If we can do it, and it falls within the scope of the law, we're going to do it.
Okay.
If it's outside of the scope of the law, there is a process that we have to follow through. But educating the citizens on the process that it takes just to tear down a house.
Okay.
Educating citizens on the process it takes just to cut grass. Even though the house is abandoned, it's still considered private property. And there is a process that we have to go through. If we don't follow that process, lawsuits will be flying all around the city.
Right.
So it's empowering the citizens and giving them the correct information on the way that they have to go about doing things, or the way we have to go about doing things.
Right. That makes sense. So to put it in short terms, the city councilman is a representative for the district, for the district on the city council. So that's number one. Number two, we have the city council person speaks to and informs the people in their district about things that are going on, any issues, and also the process of making sure that there are improvements. Is that correct?
Yes. Okay. And we also handle the city finances. We're overall the city finances here in the city. If any organization wants to get funded, we have a committee, whereas the committee review the applications. There is a timeline that those applications have to be submitted, and you have to prove to us that you're eligible for this particular money. Okay. It's not free money. This is government money. So we don't just give money away to whosoever will, let them come. No, it does not work like this. It's government money, whereas everything has to be accounted for. Along with that, it's also working with the city ordinance, trying to make sure that they are up to code. Working with the insurance plans that our city employees have. There's a committee for that. But it's so much that goes on, and people think that you just go to meetings and that's it. No, it's
There's
bigger
more
than
to
that.
it.
It's
Okay.
bigger than that. Going to speaking engagements. I love speaking engagements. I really do. So it's being visible, not just during election time, but after election. How visible are you? Do your citizens see you? Do your citizens actually know where you live? Do your citizens know how to get in contact with you? And my citizens know that they can contact me around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I don't just turn my phone off after 5. No, I've received phone calls 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning. And it's also just sitting down, listen to those citizens, listen to their concerns.
That makes sense. That's good. There's definitely an in-depth understanding of what a city council person does. So now tell me, how do you think you can make a difference by being in this position or continuing to be in this position?
By connecting the dots.
Okay.
By being engaged, by following up on that citizen's phone call. Miss Sally that lives up the street, and she wants to know what day the garbage truck is going to run because, she has a medical illness or what have you, and, she's just forgot. But, just following up. Anytime that I hear of someone having a death in their family and I know about it, I always take my citizens a sympathy card and give them a case of sodas. Just being there, letting them know that, I appreciate you. I stand with you during this time. But once again, connecting the dots to the community and letting the citizens know that we need to change the path of what our community is going.
I think that's very important. Thank you for sharing that. Now, I think we're down to our last few questions, y'all. So we got, let's see, what changes are you planning to implement once you're elected?
There are so many changes. So many changes has already been made, but I don't want to shoot myself in the foot right now. Okay. But there is many changes that needs to take place. As stated earlier on this interview, one, I would say the time that you can put your debris out on side of the road. Because most citizens think that the debris truck just ran today. So if they put some more debris out on side of the road on tomorrow, it's going to sit out there for another 2 weeks. And that in itself makes our community really looks bad. But just changing the mindset. We built the brand new city hall. We built the new recreation center, but now our focus is going to be on the revitalization of the downtown area, bringing in one of my friends. He's looking at opening up a beer brewery.
Oh, wow.
Downtown. And bringing in, ice cream parlors. I have a cousin that just opened up a restaurant that's downtown, Bessemer, that's directly across the street from the public library there. But entrepreneurship, getting people on board to invest in our own city, and actually showing people what can be done with the old dilapidated home, such as my partner and I have done here with this house, heighten the awareness through empowerment. When you get your income tax check or you have X amount of dollars, instead of going out purchasing a brand new car, purchase that old house up the street. It's an investment.
It is.
You're going and purchasing a car that's going to depreciate. And over time, as you make improvements to your house is paid for, you're going to always have money in the bank. So it's changing the mindset of the citizens here. And another thing is working with, continuing to support the school system. As anyone knows that, the municipality is good, but it's actually the school system that sells your city.
Right.
So once we have a strong school system, we're going to have a strong city hall. We're going to have a strong city. The citizens are going to be strong.
Right.
because the school system is the foundation. And hats off to Dr. Stewart. I must honestly say he's made a lot of changes there in the school systems. Hats off to all of the educators here in the Bessemer City school system for teaching our kids, because they are the ones that's on the front line making that change.
Right. That's very true. That's very true. Thank you for sharing it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, of course, we've talked about Bessemer, we've talked about where you came from, but let's talk about right now.
Mm-hmm.
How has your family been impacted by your decision to run for office again?
So, my niece and my nephew, they are all excited. It goes back to connecting the dots. I have them at my community meetings. Mm-hmm. And what am I doing? I'm showing them, not just my niece and my nephews, but I love working with the kids. We go and we knock on the doors, and I'm surprised a kid has not just rang my doorbell yet, asked me, let's go and knock on doors. Right. But it's showing them how to be actively involved in the community. But it's a learning curve also. Mm-hmm. With anything that you do, there should be a learning curve. It's teaching them how to reinvest and how to invest in their community, how to take pride in their community, and how to work together as a team whenever you're running for something.
That's right. That's right. It's very important to learn that part.
Yes. And you know who I learned that from? My mentor, Miss Betsy Pippins.
Okay.
I have to. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about her. Mrs. Betsy Pippins was a matriarch here in the city of Bessemer, one of the first African-American females who ran for city council. Wow. She turned around and ran for mayor. Then she turned around and got on the school board. But much of who I am today is because of God, because of my parents, and because of Miss Betsy Pippins. And because of my home church, the Macedonian Missionary Baptist Church, right here in the marvelous city of Bessemer.
Awesome. And you mentioned that they're having a forum?
Yeah, so on this coming Sunday at 3:30, there will be a forum for those individuals that are running for mayor and those individuals that are running for city council and for school board in District 2. The mayor, of course, that's the only one that's outside of District 2 that's going to be a part of it. But we ask everyone to please come and see what has the individuals who are running for a seat been doing to bring about a change within our community. See who has not been visible. See who has been sitting on their caboose. So who's just coming to the forefront, or what have you. But you know the individuals that's been working for you. And Councilman Chester W. Porter has been working ongoing to make this district better and to bring changes to the marvelous city of Bessemer.
That's good. So now, of course, again, we will have election on August 28th. So please make sure that you register to vote. Of course, Chester Porter is one of the persons on the ballot. So please make sure that you learn more about the candidates, learn more about the election process, as well as how our government functions. At this point in time, I want to bring up about the fact that, of course, with elections, there's an election night. So what are your plans for election night?
Well, we're going to have a celebration here at my home. And we're just going to be prayerful that the citizens go out and vote the right way. Just remember this, that if you have not seen those individuals in the past year, chances are you're not going to see them the day after the election. They're going to go back into the hole. So vote smart, vote right, cast your vote for Chester W. Porter, City Councilman, District 2. You know my work. You know what we have done to bring about a change here in this community.
Well, that was our first episode of Meet the Candidates with Lisa Lene. I'm your host, Lisa Lene, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, y'all, and remember to be informed.